When we were little, Jingbei always liked to sneak peeks at my diary. To teach her a lesson, I secretly wrote in my diary. Mom told me that Bai Ningbing and I are actually biological siblings. From then on, Bai Ningbing's attitude toward me changed. She let me eat the good food first, play with the fun toys first, and whenever someone bullied me, she would get back at them for me. He treated me like his real younger brother. Until high school graduation, a female classmate confessed to me. Everyone started teasing us, but Bai Ningbing quietly left. He got completely drunk, crouched by the roadside and refused to move. I went to find him, but he pushed me away. You don't deserve me being so good to you. Bai Ningbing looked at me with indescribable sorrow in his eyes. I actually fell for my own younger brother, and really scum. After the college entrance exam, during summer break, everyone was going wild having fun. Although we had already graduated, our class group chat was still lively. Everyone planned to gather one last time before the new semester started. The location was set at our usual local farmhouse restaurant. My buddy sent me a message asking, "How are you getting there? Should I pick you up on my bike?" I said no. Bai Ningbing will ride me there. My friend clicked his tongue in admiration, putting everything else aside. Your childhood friend is seriously enviable. He recounted our 3 years of high school. Not only is she gorgeous, every day, someone sends you to school in the morning, brings you hot water, and when you're sick, she immediately takes you to the school clinic and stays by your side the whole time. Even when our evening study sessions ran late, she'd always wait for you and safely escort you home. Plus, every year on your birthday, she always prepared a gift for you. My friend sighed deeply. That's seriously something you can't even envy. I felt a bit smug, but still said casually, "It's nothing special. Bai Ningbing and I have known each other since we were 6. We were neighbors, our doors faced each other, and attended the same kindergarten. Our parents got along extremely well, and often visited each other's homes. Over time, Bai Ningbing and I became each other's best friends and companions. But sometimes he could be quite mischievous, loved tugging at my collar, and would deliberately hide just to laugh, until I cried from fear. His mom would drag him back home to scold him, and I once overheard her say, "Don't bully your younger brother." Bai Ningbing clearly already knew he was wrong, yet stubbornly insisted younger brothers can't be bullied. In his mind, only a younger brother born from the same mother was his real younger brother. We continued this pattern of fighting and making up until 3rd grade of elementary school. Then Bai Ningbing developed another bad habit. He started sneaking looks at my diary, not satisfied with just reading it. He even liked telling others what I'd written in it. I decided to teach him a lesson. So one day I wrote in my diary, "Today Mom told me a secret." Actually, both Bai Ningbing and I are her biological children. Bai Ningbing is a bit older than me, and is my older sister, but she was too naughty, and Mom couldn't control her, so she gave her to Uncle Bai. Uncle Bai is a police officer. Really impressive. Mom said Uncle Bai and Aunt Song have already treated her as their own daughter. So this secret must never be revealed to Bai Ningbing. Even if he finds out someday, no one will ever admit it. Hey, I really didn't expect Bai Ningbing to actually be my biological older sister. Sure enough, that day when I secretly peeked during class, he was completely distracted, and even got his palm slapped by the teacher. On the way home, he didn't say a word either. Just occasionally gave me complicated glances in secret. But this diary entry worked remarkably well. Bai Ningbing started treating me like his real younger brother. He not only brought me food and drinks, but also helped me teach those little girls who bullied me a lesson, patting my shoulder like a little adult. He said, "Fang Yuan, don't worry, it'll protect you from now on." I guess that Bai Ningbing figured out within a month or two that I'd written those diary entries about him for real. After all, anyone with half a brain could probably guess it. It was just a prank, yet Bai Ningbing never came to confront me about it. Instead, protecting me became a habit for him. One he kept up for many, many years. From elementary school through middle school and into high school, he became my very own childhood friend, envied by everyone. In high school, Bai Ningbing wasn't in my class. He rode his bike to drop me off at the gathering spot. "I'll come pick you up." I took off my helmet and handed it to him. "All right, the sun's pretty strong today." Bai Ningbing also removed his helmet and ran his fingers through his sweat-dampened hair twice. He had very fair skin, and his bright almond-shaped eyes always seemed full of spirit. Sunlight shone on his face, and Bai Ningbing squinted slightly. Just as he was about to leave, some girls from our class spotted him. A few of them enthusiastically ran over and dragged him quite literally into the private room. "Don't be shy. We all know each other. It's just Bai Ningbing. Even though you're from the next class over, you've been coming to our class so often. Who doesn't know Bai Ningbing? He's not the shy type anyway." Say that he decided not to leave after all, and sat down openly and confidently. After high school graduation, everyone suddenly seemed to mature overnight. Or maybe they were just pretending. They ordered a whole case of beer and started drinking while talking big about everything under the sun. Bai Ningbing quietly intercepted every drink someone tried to hand me. He's still half a month away from turning 18. 18, he can't drink yet. Yet he himself kept drinking glass after glass. I reminded him, "Will you even be able to ride your bike? We'll take a taxi back. Then you should drink less too." Bai Ningbing just smiled and said, "Got it. You're so naggy." As the gathering drew to a close, the mood shifted from its initial excitement and warmth to something more melancholic. Said, "This might be the last time some of us ever see each other in our whole lives. If anyone has anything left to say, now's the time to say it. Don't leave yourself with regrets." I was lost in the bittersweet atmosphere of farewell. I was startled and instinctively grabbed Bai Ningbing's hand. The next moment, someone walked in holding a cake and flowers. The room was dimly lit, but I still clearly recognized his face. My deskmate, Lu Ruyan. Lu Ruyan's ears were bright red. He placed the cake, lit with a glowing candle, right in front of me. "Fang Yuan, even though your birthday hasn't arrived yet, I still wanted to go ahead and wish you a happy birthday." I just stared at him, stunned, while Bai Ningbing quietly let go of my hand. "Fang Yuan, if you're willing, on your actual birthday, I'd love to celebrate it with you too." Everyone cheered and whooped, and their cheers gave Lu Ruyan tremendous courage. He handed me the flowers. "I like you. Will you be my boyfriend?" I was shoved by a few guys, and ended up standing in front of Lu Ruyan. My mind went completely blank for a moment. Almost instinctively, I looked toward Bai Ningbing, only to find he'd already left the private room, without even telling me. I found Bai Ningbing, crouching by the roadside, and staring at the street ahead, but his eyes were unfocused, clearly lost in thought. He was still holding a can of beer in his hand. I walked over and asked, "What are you doing? I've been looking for you forever." Bai Ningbing looked up at me, squinted his eyes, recognized who I was, then lowered his head again, without saying a word. This behavior seemed really strange. I crouched down and poked his cheek. "Come on, let's go." Wei Jia, I grabbed his wrist, trying to pull him up. "Why did you drink so much? You'll get a headache tomorrow if you drink too much. When you get home, drink some honey water. It might help. If you still feel bad tomorrow, call me. I'll go buy you some hangover medicine." But Bai Ningbing suddenly jerked his hand away from mine. I stepped back a few paces, staring at him in disbelief and got annoyed myself. Bai Ningbing rubbed his face hard with his hand, muttering, "I don't need you to take care of me." His voice dropped lower. I blurted out, "Why?" Bai Ningbing looked up at me, his eyes filled with indescribable sorrow. I actually fell in love with my own younger brother. I'm such a terrible person. In that instant, so many thoughts flashed through my mind. Shock, confusion, bewilderment, until finally I remembered that prank diary entry I wrote back in 3rd grade. I looked up at Bai Ningbing and pointed to my temple. "Bai Ningbing, is there something wrong with your head? No normal person would believe that prank." Yet he believed it all these years. I recalled he'd had a high fever when he was little, but Bai Ningbing couldn't hear a word I was saying. He was too busy wallowing in self-loathing. I'm such a terrible person. I'm such a terrible person. I tried not to laugh and kicked him lightly. "Hey, that diary entry from back then, I was just kidding." But Bai Ningbing didn't move an inch. I crouched down for a closer look, and saw he dozed off, head hanging low. I couldn't drag him home alone, so I enlisted some classmates to help carry him back. By the time I got home, I was utterly exhausted. I collapsed onto the sofa, but my mind was racing with excitement. Aside from noticing Bai Ningbing acting foolishly, another key phrase stood out. "I like you." He said he liked me. I rolled over, buried my face in the pillow, too excited to sleep. Actually, I like him too. Bai Ningbing is beautiful, has always protected me since we were kids, and treated me so well. How could I not fall for him? In fact, I'd already decided to confess to him before college started. I never expected that before I could even confess. I'd already learned how he truly felt. I planned to go see him tomorrow and clear everything up. Why does time pass so slowly? I hurried over to Bai Ningbing's house. "Oh, Uncle Bai, are you heading to work already? Wow, it's really early." I suddenly felt a bit embarrassed. Uncle, is Bai Ningbing awake yet? Strangely enough, he also got up so early today. Hence in his room. I'll go find him. Uncle Bai nodded, took the keys and left. I walked to the door of Bai Ningbing's room. My heartbeat unconsciously sped up a little. Took a few deep breaths. I calmed myself down. Just as I was about to knock on the door, Bai Ningbing's voice came from inside. Seemed like he was on the phone. I was drunk last night. I can't remember what happened. My head hurts terribly. Thinking about last night made me want to smile a little. Bai Ningbing's voice sounded a bit hoarse. Fang Yuan sent me back. Don't get any wrong ideas. I'm not involved with him like you think. I only see him as a younger brother. I blinked my eyes. Faded away. Bai Ningbing kept talking. Besides, my ideal type is a sunny, handsome guy. Fang Yuan's just a little kid. He has zero appeal to me. There's no way to have any other thoughts about him. Ugh, this is annoying. I was drunk last night. I don't even know if I said anything stupid while drunk. When I'm drunk, I usually just blather nonsense. Hope nobody recorded it. That would be so embarrassing. Those few short sentences instantly calmed my heart that had been racing all night. I stood blankly outside Bai Ningbing's door. I could hardly tell which of his words were true and which were lies. And because of what he just said, I now felt I didn't want to talk to him right now. Carefully stepped away from his door. Was about to head home when suddenly heard a click sound behind me. Bai Ningbing walked out yawning. Saw me standing in the living room and froze. How come you're here? I glared at him, my mind filled with the disdainful tone he used just now on the phone. Fang Yuan's just a little kid. He has zero appeal to me. There's no way to have any other thoughts about him. Zero appeal. I took a deep breath, forced a fairly natural smile onto my face. I need your advice on something. Bai Ningbing ran his fingers through his messy hair. The corners of his mouth lifted. I've accepted Lu Royang's confession. She's officially my girlfriend now. I pretended to be shy and lowered my head. I want to give her a gift, but I don't know what to get. What do girls like? Just for reference. Bai Ningbing's smile froze, but only for a split second. He quickly returned to normal, yawned and headed toward the bathroom, muttering casually, "Just buy whatever. If he really likes you, he'll be happy no matter what you buy." I couldn't find even a trace of discomfort on his face. A sense of disappointment spread through my heart. So what he said by the roadside last night really was just drunken nonsense. Back when I was a kid, my clumsy pranks. How could anyone not see through them? Bai Ningbing isn't stupid. Amidst the disappointment, there was also a strange sense of clarity. Glad I didn't impulsively rush into his room just now to confess. He doesn't like me. If I got rejected, we probably wouldn't even be able to stay friends. He'll head back now. I called out, turned and walked out of his house. I left too quickly. Didn't hear the clatter of toiletries falling in the bathroom. I didn't dwell on it for long. A few days later, I went out with my buddy, Boda. Graduated from high school. The boys can finally dress however they want without restraint. I put on my newly bought trendy t-shirt and sneakers, and even styled my hair specially. Just as I stepped out, I ran into Bai Ningbing coming back from taking out the trash. He was wearing an oversized t-shirt and athletic shorts, with flip-flops on his feet. His hair was casually tied up. When he looked up and saw me, he froze. I felt a bit nervous, but pretended to be nonchalant and lifted my chin slightly. "What are you staring at? If you want to say I look handsome, just say it outright." Bai Ningbing gave me a strange look. "Where are you going?" Instinctively I started to say, "I'm going," but stopped halfway. Then I came to my senses. Who does Bai Ningbing think he is to me anyway? What I do doesn't need his concern. Where I go is none of your business. With that, I hummed a tune and walked out of the neighborhood. Bai Ningbing called out to stop me from behind. "Fang Yuan, are you going on a date with Lu Ruyan?" He stormed over aggressively, stood right in front of me and took several deep breaths, then clenched his teeth. "When will you be back?" "I don't know." I shrugged. "Whenever I get tired of playing, he'll come back." Because of the shrug, my collar tilted slightly. Bai Ningbing quickly reached out and straightened it for me. I felt something was off about him. "What exactly is going on with you?" "Nothing." Bai Ningbing forced a stiff smile. "Come back early. If you dare stay out all night, I'll tell your parents." I rolled my eyes. "Go ahead and tattle. I'm not talking to you anymore. I've got plans, and I'm running late." With that, I pushed past Bai Ningbing, flagged down a taxi, and sped away. Sitting in the car, I recalled Bai Ningbing's odd behavior earlier, and sighed inwardly. Sure enough, he really does treat me like a little brother. Maybe even like a son. More nagging than my own parents. Had a bit too much fun today, and lost track of time. By the time I got home, it was already 9 p.m. My phone had died and shut down. Luckily, I still had some cash in my bag, so I could take a taxi. I walked familiarly toward my doorstep, but was startled by a dark figure sitting on the steps outside. I let out a cry. The motion sensor light at the door turned on. Only then did I recognize it was Bai Ningbing. Bai Ningbing also saw me, and immediately stood up, looking at his appearance. I asked suspiciously, "What are you doing squatting here?" He was still dressed the same as when I'd seen him that morning, except his exposed arms and legs were covered in mosquito bites. His hair was messy, and he looked exhausted. Bai Ningbing quickly stepped up to me. "Why are you only coming back now? Why was your phone off when I called?" He circled around me, glancing at my clothes. "Why did you change your outfit?" Of course I was shopping and had a great time, so I changed into the new clothes I just bought. Before I could say anything, he noticed the mango cake I was holding. His expression suddenly changed. "Lu Ruyan doesn't know you're allergic to mangoes? You didn't eat it, did you?" "Fang Yuan, are you an idiot?" "Just to please Lu Ruyan. I didn't eat it. I bought it for my mom as a midnight snack." I wasn't looking at him. "Bai Ningbing, you're acting really strange." Bai Ningbing fell silent. He seemed lost in thought about something. He tugged at the corner of his mouth. "It's also you going out to play with your girlfriend. What's it got to do with me?" He wiped his face, turned around and headed toward his own home. I was completely baffled by him. After my phone was charged, I called Bada. I told him about this incident. Bada immediately shrieked like a ghost. "He's jealous. Could the couple I've been shipping actually become real?" I froze. "Jealous? Come on, man. Listen to me. I've read so many novels, so many pretty dramas. I got tons of experience. Bai Ningbing is definitely jealous." My heart stirred a little, but I was still uncertain. But earlier I lied to him, saying I'd accepted Lu Royang's confession. He didn't react at all. Not reacting is exactly what's wrong. Bada was extremely excited on the other end of the phone. "Think about it. If your best friend since childhood suddenly started dating, how would you react?" I thought for a moment. Excited, curious, teasing, and offering congratulations. Bai Ningbing's reaction totally looks like he's trying to cover something up. The more someone pretends not to care, the more they actually do. He might be bored, and considering Bai Ningbing's reaction tonight, I carefully analyzed everything again. Finally, I was certain. He's absolutely jealous. I hung up the call. I lay down on my bed, my heart unable to calm down for a long time. I decided to properly test him using Bada's method. Early the next morning, my mom sent me to deliver Baozi to Bai Ningbing. His parents are always busy with work, often away from home. It's been like this since we were kids. I brought over the Baozi, and while watching him eat breakfast, I casually said, "I'll call Bada," right in front of him. Nervously, I called out, "Bao Bao Bao. What are you doing?" "Who?" Bai Ningbing spat out his soy milk. He was gasping for breath, and I glanced at him worriedly. Bai Ningbing didn't look at me, almost burying his face into his plate. So I whispered softly into the phone again. "I miss you too. When can we go out and hang out?" Clang. Bai Ningbing suddenly stood up, moving so fast that he knocked over the bowl beside him. He frantically tried to steady it, then grabbed his bowl and chopsticks and rushed to the kitchen. Bada burst out laughing exaggeratedly on the other end. "See that? He's flustered." After pretending to finish the call, Bai Ningbing came back out from the kitchen. I studied his face, though he tried hard to hide it. It was still obvious that he was clearly unhappy. I held back a laugh. Bada was right. If one of your close friends makes a flirtatious phone call right in front of you, they definitely tease or joke afterward. The more someone acts nonchalant, the more suspicious it is. Bai Ningbing. I cleared my throat, called out to him. Bai Ningbing looked up at me. "What? Are you free this afternoon? I need to talk to you about something. I have to go to school this afternoon to pick up my diploma. My name was printed wrong before, so they reprinted a new copy." "All right then, let's meet tonight," I said as I pushed the door open to leave. "It's settled. It's perfect. Confessing at night sets the mood." I happily went back home. Even my mom noticed something was up. I went to see Bai Ningbing. "You're this happy?" I grinned shyly. I hid in my room and started thinking about how I confessed to Bai Ningbing tonight. But before evening even came, around 3 p.m., he called me. His voice sounded anxious. Fang Yuan's in trouble. Bai Ningbing and Liu Ruoyan got into a fight. Bo's mom is our high school homeroom teacher, so she always gets news faster than we do. He said Bai Ningbing came to school this afternoon to pick up his graduation certificate. Liu Ruoyan was at school with another boy from class on a date. He charged over and shoved the guy. Liu Ruoyan isn't exactly the patient type either, so they started wrestling each other. Right now they've been taken to the school infirmary. After hanging up, I grabbed my phone and rushed out the door towards school. This is such a mess. Oh no, oh no. At the end of the day, this is all my fault. I made Bai Ningbing think I accepted Liu Ruoyan's confession. So in his eyes, Liu Ruoyan was my girlfriend. When he saw Liu Ruoyan on a date with another guy, he naturally assumed my girlfriend was toy-beaming me. I quickly pieced things together, got the whole story in my head. When I arrived at the infirmary, the first thing I saw was Liu Yan sitting there, wincing as the doctor applied ointment to his head. He was grimacing in pain, with a boy standing beside him, eyes red, watching him worriedly. I recognized the guy. He looked familiar. Probably Mo Da from class 4. I'd heard before. That someone in class 4 had a crush on Liu Ruoyan. After I turned Liu Ruoyan down, that guy confessed to her. Looks like they're together now. I felt really awkward. So without thinking, I walked in and apologized to them. I didn't notice that at the far end of the infirmary hallway, someone had been standing there watching me for a long time. Bai Ningbing came out with his medicine. Just as Fang Yuan hurried over, looking frantic. He didn't even ask how Bai Ningbing was doing. He went straight to Liu Ruoyan. A bitter ache spread through my chest. Bai Ningbing looked down at the medicine bag in his hand. At the corner of his mouth, he thought Fang Yuan was great in every way. Liu Ruoyan was plain-looking. Average grades. And yet, still had the nerve to twat-type someone. What right did he have? They'd known each other first. So he should have come first. Although Liu Ruoyan was a bit upset, he still forgave me. I breathed a sigh of relief, left the room to the young couple, and turned around, eager to find Bai Ningbing. But the doctor told me Bai Ningbing had already left. I froze for a second. Left. Wasn't she hurt? She was hurt, the doctor said, also worried. When two girls get into a fight like that, they really go all out. In the blink of an eye, she was gone. I rushed home immediately and knocked on Bai Ningbing's door. His dad had just returned from a business trip this morning. When he opened the door and saw me, I asked Uncle, is Bai Ningbing home? He smiled slightly. Yeah, he's in his room. Probably sleeping. Just when he came back, his face was bruised and swollen. He said it was from a car accident. I don't even know where he fell. I stared at him blankly, but felt uneasy inside. Uncle Bai has always been carefree. Bai Ningbing's casual lie. He didn't doubt it for a second. Before, he and Aunt Song often neglected Bai Ningbing because of their busy work. Back in kindergarten, she once forgot to pick up Bai Ningbing from school, and was always the last one to come get her. I was afraid Bai Ningbing would feel lonely, so I begged my mom to take her home with us. When she started elementary school, Uncle Bai and Aunt Song forgot to give Bai Ningbing money for breakfast. Bai Ningbing never said anything, and just went hungry every morning. Later I found out, little me had big loyalty. One morning I gathered my courage, and stopped Uncle Bai as he rushed out the door, telling him that Bai Ningbing was going hungry every day. My thoughts snapped back. I glanced at Bai Ningbing's bedroom door. Uncle said Bai Ningbing was sleeping, so I didn't dare go in further. After getting home, I checked my phone again. Bai Ningbing had replied to my message. Maybe he really was asleep. I was distracted all day, worried he might think he'd cause trouble again. My heart twisted in knots. Until evening, Mom finished cooking and picked up a food container to leave. I asked where she was going. Your Uncle Bai went out again this afternoon. Bai Ningbing is home alone. Uncle Bai said she has a bit of a fever and asked me to check on her. I jumped up from my chair. It'll go. I grabbed the food container from Mom's hands and dashed out the door. I knew the password to Bai Ningbing's house, and this time too anxious to wait. I didn't even knock. Just walked straight in with the food container. Bai Ningbing, you have a fever. Then we took a shower. I stood at the doorway, watching Bai Ningbing just stepping out of the bathroom. Her hair still dripping wet. I was momentarily speechless. Bai Ningbing froze too. She was only wearing a thin camisole nightgown. Her shoulders and collarbones beautifully outlined. Her skin glowed pale under the light. I blinked. She has such a great figure. Bai Ningbing pushed past me and ran into her room. I felt a bit hot and fanned myself with my hand. But within 3 seconds, when she came back out, Bai Ningbing had already put on a t-shirt. I pointed to the food container. Eat first. It's still warm. Bai Ningbing didn't say anything and sat quietly at the table eating. Maybe she really wasn't feeling well. She ate very slowly, almost reluctantly. I reached out and touched her forehead. Bai Ningbing paused mid-bite. She really was running up. I frowned. Finish your meal and then rest. You'll go buy some medicine. Bai Ningbing lowered her eyes to the table and gave a soft M. Bai Ningbing was already back in bed, tightly wrapped in blankets, sweat beading on her forehead. I took her temperature. 39 degrees Celsius. I hurriedly gave her fever medicine. I pulled a stool and sat by her bedside, watching her sleep, still frowning. There were still bruises from the fight earlier that day on her cheeks. I touched it with my hand. His frown deepened. I sighed. When I looked up again, I found Bai Ningbing had opened his eyes at some point without me noticing. Are you feeling better? Do you want some water? Bai Ningbing didn't answer me. He just stared at me. Then he mumbled something unclearly. He said, Fang Yuan, get yourself a new girlfriend. Don't date him. I propped my head up, watching him. Why on earth was he so dead set against it? Break up with him quickly. Bai Ningbing's voice was hoarse. His eyes were half open, looking as if he wasn't fully awake yet. I thought he looked kind of interesting like this, so I couldn't resist teasing him a little. All right, I'll break up with him, but then I won't have a girlfriend anymore. I leaned closer to Bai Ningbing. You'll have to replace her for me. Bai Ningbing stayed silent, gazing at me with a confused look. Save yourself. I reached out and pinched his cheek. Bai Ningbing, will you be my girlfriend? Bai Ningbing froze for a long while, then slowly pulled his hand out from under the blanket and pushed mine away. His voice was very low. I can't. I grew anxious. You can. Bai Ningbing seemed ready to bear his whole head into the blanket. I'll find you someone better. I got angry. I cupped his face with both hands and leaned down to kiss him squarely on the cheek. I told you you can. Bai Ningbing went completely stiff. Maybe it was because of the fever. His reactions were a bit slow, but once he finally processed what happened, he shoved me away forcefully. We can't do this. It's wrong. Even his expression was filled with fear and I pressed him. Why is it wrong? Bai Ningbing looked at me in pain. Don't you already know? We can't do this. We're. He clutched his head. We're biological siblings. So his brain really worked differently from most people's. Those things he'd said when drunk were just drunken nonsense. That prank entry in the diary years ago, he'd taken it seriously. I suddenly felt overwhelmingly guilty, so I hurriedly said, it's fake. It's all fake. Everything I wrote in that diary back then was made up. Bai Ningbing looked bewildered. You were always sneaking peeks at my diary back then. I wrote that diary entry just to trick you. I didn't know you'd actually believe it. Now that I'd gotten this far, I seized the moment, pushing forward without hesitation. Bai Ningbing, I like you. What about you? Do you like me? Bai Ningbing stood frozen for a long time. He seemed not to have heard my last words. He slowly curled up on the bed, and I heard him muttering to himself. So, we really are our parents' biological children. I stared at him, stunned. In that moment, I suddenly understood why he believed that diary entry so completely. Why, despite our parents' constant neglect, she always acted so calm and indifferent. Because he used that diary as psychological comfort to quiet the resentment and discontent inside him. Yet now, Bai Ningbing lay utterly still, afraid he'd suffocate himself under the covers. I quickly shook him. Bai Ningbing, are you still awake? A muffled voice came from under the blanket. I need some time to process this. First, I'm not adopted. His voice carried a slight nasal tone. Second, you like me. My face flushed instantly. You were so bold just now when confessing, but now you're suddenly feeling a bit shy. Who likes you? Bai Ningbing abruptly threw off the blanket and sat up. He even swayed a little. His face was bright red, his hair all messy, yet his eyes shone with startling brightness. Didn't you clearly just say? Fang Yuan He suddenly grabbed my wrist. His grip was so strong it made my heart beat skip a beat. Words once spoken, spilled water. I tried to pull away, but couldn't break free, so I just gave up. What's the worst that could happen anyway? Then what about you? Do you like me or not? Bai Ningbing's ears were visibly turning red at a visible speed. Changing color rapidly. He let go of my hand, and gently tapped my forehead. Silly, if I didn't care about you, would I have served you like a servant for all these years? So I leaned closer to him. Since when did you start liking me? Bai Ningbing turned his face away. I don't remember. You're lying, Bai Ning. He thought for a moment. Then his voice softened. Honestly, I really don't remember. Maybe it was the first time I shared my breakfast with you. Maybe it was when I stayed behind to do classroom cleaning duty with you. Maybe it was when I heard someone speaking badly about you, and rushed over to slash their face. I quickly covered his mouth with my hand. Okay, stop talking already, Bai. He smiled, his lips lightly brushing against my palm, leaving a flutter in my stomach. I jerked my hand back in shock, staring at him in disbelief. Bai Ningbing kept talking. Or maybe it was back in middle school. First year, second semester, when I temporarily joined a summer camp, and ran after the car, crying as you chased it. His voice growing quieter and quieter. You fell down, but immediately got back up again, shouting my name. I froze. That time I fell pretty badly. My knees were bleeding. It was Bai Ningbing who jumped off the bus, carried me to the infirmary. On the way I cried uncontrollably, smearing snot and tears all over him. Even now, I can hardly believe it. I looked so pathetic then. But you said I was actually cute. Bai Ningbing muttered softly, stubborn as hell and always crying. But Fang Yuan, you made me feel like I was someone needed after all. My heart warmed instantly. I was about to say something, when I suddenly noticed his face was even redder than before. I reached out to touch it, and it was scalding hot. Bai Ningbing, your fever's gotten worse. He mumbled a drowsy, and leaned toward me. I hurriedly caught him, fumbling frantically for a fever patch. It's all your fault, he mumbled against my shoulder. Why'd you have to bring this up right now? Alright, it's all my fault. I went to the kitchen to pour him a glass of water. When I came back, Bai Ningbing was already asleep. His brow relaxed, a faint smile still lingering on his lips. I quietly set the water glass aside, and watched his peaceful sleeping face. Suddenly my heart felt full. It turns out that we'd both been secretly liking each other for so long without the other knowing. Mom said Uncle Bai got a job transfer, so he won't need to travel for work as often anymore. Could be at home often. I muttered quietly while eating. If only things had been like this earlier. Bai Ningbing is about to go to college. He won't be at home anymore, but it's fine. From now on, he'll be the one staying with him. After finishing my meal, I ran into my room. After carefully getting dressed up, I stood outside Bai Ningbing's window and called out to him. Bai Ningbing pushed open the window and looked at me. I mouthed words silently to him. Let's go on a date. Bai Ningbing immediately burst into laughter. Wait for me. He hurried downstairs. Aunt Song was doing a big cleaning. I called out to him from behind her. Ding ding, this ugly old mouse king. Do you still want it or not? If not, I'll throw it away. Yes, I want to keep it forever. You got bitten by a rat when you were little. Weren't you supposed to hate rats the most? Aunt Song mumbled. She put the rat plushie into his room. I froze for a moment. Unless something unexpected happens. That plushie was probably the one I gave him, a cute little rat plushie. Turns out he hated rats the most. When walking side by side with Bai Ningbing out of the neighborhood, he smiled. Didn't I tell you before? When someone likes you, no matter what you give them, they'll love it. My face turned red because of his words. Bai Ningbing and I attend universities in the same city. Mine is in the west. It takes 3 hours by subway. Might as well be worlds apart. On the first day of school, Bai Ningbing offered to take me to campus. While he was studying the map of my university, a senior girl walked over. Need any help, freshman? I shook my head. No thank you. I pointed toward Bai Ningbing standing nearby. My girlfriend is right here. Bai Ningbing froze. He straightened his back even more. On the way to the dorm, Bai Ningbing carried my backpack ahead of me. I followed behind, dragging my black suitcase, and noticed his ears were extremely red. Hey, I poked his back. What are you nervous about? Bai Ningbing paused in his steps, without turning around. Who's nervous? Then why are your ears so red? It's from the sun. I looked up. At the heavily overcast sky. I held back my laughter and didn't call him out on it. When we reached the dorm building, Bai Ningbing helped carry my luggage upstairs. He stood at the entrance of the boys' dorm, like a devoted bodyguard, inspecting my dorm room thoroughly. He even personally tested how sturdy the bed frame was. Alright. I pushed him out. If you keep checking like this, the dorm supervisor will think you're some kind of weirdo. Only then did Bai Ningbing reluctantly stop. He took out a neatly folded piece of paper from his pocket. What's this? He bit his lip slightly. My class schedule. The red circles marked my free times. Blue. I unfolded it and saw. The schedule was covered densely with notes. He'd even drawn the best route from his school to mine, marking all the places to eat, drink, and have fun along the way. You've marked everything, so that on weekends I can come find you. Bai Ningbing finished quickly. His ears turned red again. University life turned out busier than I imagined. Although Bai Ningbing and I haven't met many times, we have a video call every single night without fail. My roommates often tease me. Fang Yuan, you and your childhood sweetheart. This isn't dating at all. It's like keeping an electronic pet. On the screen, Bai Ningbing was eating instant noodles and started coughing from choking. During winter break when I returned home, Bai Ningbing came to my house after paying New Year's greetings. He took my hand and solemnly announced to my parents that we were dating. My dad just said, oh, and went back to scrolling through short videos. My mom said, PFAT, what a big deal. Gave me a scare. She looked at me, then at Bai Ningbing, and added, if you two went together, that'd be the real surprise. Our teenage secret, which we thought we'd hidden so well, was actually completely obvious to them. Bai Ningbing and I exchanged glances and both laughed. He looked out the window. It's snowing. I exclaimed happily, pushing open the window. Snowflakes drifted down quickly, and many children were playing outside in the snow. Okay, once the snow stops, I'm going to build a huge snowman. Alright, Bai Ningbing, I'm going to build one that looks like you, but I'm not very good at it, so you might end up looking really ugly. That's fine, he always says like that. And yet I still adore Chen Chung Yao Yao. As our break